Hey guys, and welcome to the Working Money channel. You gotta love Crypto Dash. Unfortunately, his old Twitter handle was shut down by Twitter. He's now going by @crypto_-odl on Twitter, so if you guys aren't following him yet, you should, because he posts some great stuff with regards to the XRP community. The tweet, though, that he sent me today has to do with cryptocurrencies in general and how the New York Post is actually framing this the same way they framed tech stocks in the mid-90s. It's really interesting. So I'm just going to read you a little bit of this from John Crudell. This is kind of a FUD article for the entire crypto space, basically stating just this. Cryptocurrencies like Bitcoin are crap. He says, I've been saying this for a long time, although I have explained it more delicately in the past. Bitcoin and other cryptocurrencies are nothing more than confidence games. They only have value if someone dumber than you thinks they are worth something and is willing to take them off your hands. I'm bringing this up now because smarter people than me are figuring this out. Warren Buffett, who has a reputation for being pretty savvy on Monday, said cryptocurrencies basically have no value. You can't do anything with it except sell it to someone else. And so when you're looking at cryptocurrencies like Bitcoin, this is exactly how they've been treated, similar to stocks, because when you buy a stock at a low price and company value goes up, you want to sell the stock at the higher price to reap a profit. And so with stocks, though, a company is worth a certain amount of money, and the idea is that the company will continue growing because they're providing more value to the world. They're providing better products, better services. They are incorporating possibly more technology to do more verticals, essentially do more business to accumulate more wealth, and therefore the company is worth more money. But with Bitcoin, he says it's basically not worth anything because Bitcoin doesn't do anything. And I've always thought of that in terms of the mathematical problems that the Bitcoin network is trying to solve in order for miners to accumulate Bitcoin. The fact that Satoshi Nakamoto could have at least provided some kind of use case, the mathematical problems that are being solved so that miners can acquire Bitcoin, those complicated mathematical problems should at least be useful to the world. How to conquer cancer? Well, here's a mathematical problem, and if we can solve this, we can conquer cancer. For example, I'm obviously using a broad, very uncomplicated example for you guys, but stuff like this, why couldn't Satoshi have created real value for Bitcoin in an example like the one I just explained to you? Well, I guess this guy has a point here, but that just goes to show you that when Brad Garlinghouse has said that the cryptocurrencies that will hold the most value in the future will be the ones that solve real world problems, it only makes me more confident that my XRP investment was the right choice. Not that I was not confident to begin with, obviously, but it certainly is some food for thought for those of you guys doubting your investment as we're seeing a bit of a downturn. Matthew Liny on Twitter posted this yesterday. I'm just getting around to it today. Bank NY Mellon and 5 reasons to tokenize. And he posts these screen grabs here. Tokenization. Currency, funds, private equity, commercial bank real estate, here intellectual property, fine art, gold and precious metals, equities, music, residential real estate, and infrastructure. We are going to see a lot of tokenization starting in a lot of these sectors and industry in the coming years, and we're already starting to see it now. Currency and funds, obviously we are already seeing that, and also with equities. Gold and precious metals and other commodities will be tokenized in the future. Residential real estate, this is an interesting one. I was talking to a real estate agent about a year and a half ago when I first started the channel, and he was talking about Ethereum and how the Ethereum blockchain is really going to make real estate agents obsolete, unfortunately, at least for those really simple deals because of smart contracts. So we're going to see a lot of this, and the new tokenized economy, of course, going to be derived from cryptocurrencies that have a real value that will solve real world problems. 5 reasons to tokenize: simpler, faster, and cheaper capital raising, access to broader swath of potential investors, more transparency for all parties to a transaction, instant settlement with finality and improved liquidity, potential elimination of unnecessary middlemen, and that's, I think, where we find a lot of the friction. And when I talk about these independently of Ripple and XRP, you can see independently where Ripple and XRP fit into the mix. So a tokenized economy, the tokenization of everything, this is going to be very important as we move through the 2020s and into the future, guys. I also saw this From Crypto Mike, that's at XX Mike Check XX. Ooh, Mike Check XX. Yeah, I like that. That's a cool handle. So Crypto Mike here posting this. Guys, PalmBeachGroup that called Bitcoin at $400 to their clients and Ethereum at $9 to their clients are now telling their clients to buy Ripple. It's a done deal. Those guys are number one in crypto. So 2020, here it is. And guys, I don't know if you remember, when I first started the channel about a month after I started, in July 2018, I did a video on Teeka Tiwari, and he had a presentation with regards to cryptocurrency and his picks in 2018. And from what I remember, his picks included Bitcoin, Ethereum, and Dash, from what I remember. Now, remember, this was back in 2018, okay? The market was going down. We were bearish. It had been going down for the past 6 months at that point, and it wasn't until about 9 or 10 months later that we started to see an uptrend. So at that time, he was talking about Bitcoin, Ethereum, and Dash as a privacy hedge. I don't know. He had his reasons to believe that those were the cryptocurrencies. Nevertheless, now it's 2020 and cryptocurrency has really developed and matured over the last year and a half. He's saying that now Ripple and XRP are one of his top picks. At the time of this writing, Ripple XRP is the third largest cryptocurrency project by market cap. Ripple's sole focus is to make it cheaper, easier, and more transparent for people to send money around the world. It's a private currency system that exists only on a digital ledger, but banks have flocked to it because it solves three problems of cross-border transactions: speed, transparency, and cost. You see, banks can send money to any other bank on the Ripple network within 5 to 10 seconds. And when you send money via Ripple, you know the exact cost and exchange rate. With the power of the blockchain, you can immediately see transactions being processed, making it transparent. Plus, Ripple is cheap to use. According to a report published by Ripple, it claims to be at least 42% cheaper than traditional Society for Worldwide Interbank Financial Telecommunication, or SWIFT if you wish, payment system. As more users adopt the Ripple platform, these cost savings are projected to climb to 62% over time. And this doesn't even account for additional compliance and tracking related cost savings. So these guys are really bullish on Ripple now, and it was interesting because in 2018 I thought they were going to be bullish on Ripple. I don't think that enough people knew about Ripple and XRP at that time. I seriously don't. You know, we were all talking about it. We were all doing videos. We were all very excited about it. We were hearing new information that was coming out from the company. But a lot of these so-called experts, and I like to put experts in quotes, really had no effing clue. And it's funny how they're coming around now. In 2020, we have seen the partnerships build over the years. More positive momentum in the XRP space, and a lot of developments, including Teeka Tiwari's recent call on XRP being one of the top cryptos to invest in 2020. That from the PalmBeachGroup.com. And guys, this from the Economist. So we know the whole Rothschilds Economist situation. This isn't so much about the Rothschilds. I did see this article, and it is entitled "How to Make Sense of the Latest Tech Surge." So it talks about the top 5, okay? The top 5 tech companies in America today. And I will link the article in the description. You need to sign up if you want to read the article. You just need an email address and a password to sign up for an account, and you'll be able to read this. But there's a big takeaway here, so I'm not even going to read any of it. I'm just going to talk a little bit about what they're talking about and how it could influence the future of the American economy. So we've got the big tech giants, okay? We've got Google, Apple, Microsoft, Amazon, and Facebook. And basically over the last decade, you know, many of these companies were on a tear. People were investing in them and making a lot of returns, and now they're worth a lot of money, okay? You combine these companies together and they're worth a lot of money. But could this be a negative thing? And will this be a negative thing for the future? And the reason they're posing this question is because, on the one hand, and both of these outcomes are kind of negative, by the way. On the one hand, you have these big companies and, you know, people are pumping money into them. And let's say something happens and the rug is pulled out from everybody. The companies have to liquidate for whatever reason, sell off assets, and the valuation goes down, which would cause a snowball effect of people taking their money out of the stocks and essentially collapsing these companies. Okay, that's the one case scenario, and that's kind of unlikely because these companies are big enough, I think, at this point, unless something really shady is happening behind the scenes. But these companies are fairly big and fairly robust, and they have good products. So I think we're going to continue to see them grow in the future. But on the other hand, and this is what they're talking about in this article, could be potentially dangerous as well, is if these companies get so big they can become vertically integrated into so many other sectors and essentially create a monopoly, and that won't be good for the economy either. Okay, if 5 big companies control most of the wealth within not only technology, but within many other facets of the economy, because we know, even 20 years ago, certain industries that were not reliant on technology are reliant today on technology. And so these companies could come in, swoop in, make some big changes, and take up a majority of the economy. And this won't be good either. They talk a little bit about privacy concerns as well, but I'm not so interested in that. Basically, this is what this article is about. So if you're interested in that, again, I'll link it in the description. But what I thought was important is that there is a connection to each and every one of these companies, except for Facebook, with Ripple and XRP. So let's start with Google over here. Google, we know GVC, Google Venture Capital, invested in Ripple, and this is an article from back in 2017 saying Google's venture capital firm Alphabet came in as the world's second biggest corporate investor behind the Japanese finance giant SBI Holdings. So this with regards to Ripple specifically. Alphabet invested in companies such as Ripple and trading platform LedgerX. So we know there's a connection there. Apple, we've been hearing rumblings with regards to Apple and how their Apple Pay could be definitely integrated into Ripple's Interledger protocol. This from back in January 2020, so just last month. Apple could possibly implement Ripple's Interledger protocol for payments. The payment request API introduced in Apple is interconnected with Ripple's Interledger protocol that allows easy payments across multiple ledgers. Again, guys, not going to get into this in detail. These are all older articles. I just wanted to show you guys the connections here. Microsoft, we have the big bull here, Microsoft blockchain as a service embraces Ripple. And this from back in 2015. Microsoft is working with Ripple to add a pure play transactional financial service angle to its recently released blockchain as a service toolkit. So we heard about this Microsoft Azure connection as well, and that they will be integrating with Ripple. So that just another one there. Amazon over here, guys, and we've heard about this too. Okay, this back from May 2019. Amazon's new partnership with Ripple will expand merchant opportunities. So this article talks a little bit about Amazon Pay and how it was integrating with WorldPay. There's an article here with regards to that. WorldPay becomes first acquirer to enable Amazon Pay. This from March 2019. And guys, here's a tweet from Panda Ripple XRP on Twitter at RipplePandaXRP. And so he just lists it out. And it's an old tweet back from March 2019. 2015, Ripple joined the Web Payments Working Group co-chaired with WorldPay. And so that's the connection. Ripple and WorldPay connected in 2015. A few other things happened in 2017, 18, and 19. But also in 2019, WorldPay acquired Amazon Pay. And that just goes back to this article here. So a lot of connections here with the big five. Other than Facebook, of course. We know Facebook is working on their Libra thing, and we haven't heard too much with regards to Facebook wanting to integrate with Ripple or wanting to have anything to do with Ripple. I feel like the guys at Facebook want to do their own thing. They want to be the biggest they can be in every which way, shape, or form. And so let them do their Libra thing. Good for them for trying. The regulatory clarity might be difficult for them in that regard. Nevertheless, 4 out of 5 ain't bad. But guys, I got a surprise for you. This from Muhammad Sadiq at Milestones Photo on Twitter. This is the slide, folks. If you need a picture, this is it. If you don't know now, you know. All the money. And what does this slide show you guys? Well, we've seen this before. This looks fairly familiar. This is essentially describing how ILP will work with different countries and how the money networks will connect with the platforms via XRP. And so what do we see here, guys? The top 5. We've got Apple, we've got Amazon, we've got Microsoft, we've got Google, and we've got Facebook. Not to mention many other big companies on the list. So I wanted to thank Muhammad Sadiq for that. Thanks so much for posting that. We're bringing everything full circle. I think that the top 5 tech giants, even if they become behemoths in their space, will leverage Ripple and XRP technology for cross-border transactions specifically, and who knows what other verticals they'll integrate in the future. Anyways, guys, that's just my opinion, but I want to hear what you guys think. Please subscribe to the channel if you want to be eligible for the Ledger Nano X giveaway. I'm giving one away on March 15th, but you have to subscribe to be eligible. Like the video if you like the content I'm providing. I always love hearing your comments. See you in the next one, guys.